why would it be easy for Rogan to go his path, and why would it be hard for me? Simple, because Joe Rogan is a CIA plant, and I'm an actual being of source, and I'm probably the most feared individual to the intelligence community and to the power structure of this entire world.
Bring us in, dude. You're in control.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to
That camera.
the Sonder Experience. This camera, episode 53. We have a special guest today. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He is my brother, and we're going to talk about some special shit today.
Were you going to let him introduce himself, or is he your brother?
Oh, no. He's my brother, but he's going to introduce himself.
Okay.
With my host, Garrett, the Journey.
y'all?
I am the Nightmare.
Well, you're now the Lightmare. That's changed.
Okay,
We
the
just changed
Nightmare.
it. My name's Osiris. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah, dude. We're super excited about it. So, okay. Listen, man.
Yeah,
Listen.
I'm listening.
Jesse's been telling me for a month now, when my brother comes on, he's bringing the heat. He's bringing the heat.
So that's why there's like this animosity.
Animosity?
Yeah, this tension,
No.
heaviness.
Worry on my part because I'm not a non-believer
Of
stuff.
like,
I'm very if I can't see it and touch it, and if it's not affecting me in my world, I don't care about it.
so you're
So it's
very
not-
3D.
It's not even that I'm a non-believer. I'm open to it. It's just I guess I don't give a fuck about it.
Like,
You know what I
what's
mean?
it though? What are we non-believing about?
Okay, so yeah, like.
But I am glad to be here though. First and foremost, thanks for having me on.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's an honor.
No, I'm super, and there's a lot of people that are excited to watch this episode
That's scary.
because they've just the little bit of alien talk that we've got and stuff like that.
And I always throw it out there on different shows, like, man, just wait till I get my
Right,
brother on here.
he's
or
always
whatever.
bringing you up.
Oh, thanks.
And
So-
it's definitely, this is not like an attack on Garrett. I don't even think this is a matchup. I think it's more so
And it
the
could be.
information. Maybe.
I don't give a fuck. I don't.
We'll see where it goes.
I
but
just want to. I want entertainment, but I also want information. And so when I say it, I mean the collective it, meaning conspiracy theories, aliens, basically anything that Alex Jones talks about.
Right.
It's interesting to me. It's fun for me to listen to, but it doesn't affect my day to day.
Right.
Whereas there's people out there that like that's their identity. That's them. They can't fucking let it go. And like, I want to know where you fall on that spectrum because I want to ask you.
I'm not in that spectrum because I'm
At
not,
all?
No, because I'm not like into conspiracy theories or like the term aliens. Both of those terms have been watered down into like making people inside. Like with these terms, you're putting people in a box, and it's a cuckoo box at this point. So all you have to say is the word conspiracy or the word theory or aliens, and like right away, like you're gonna have someone wearing this hat right off the bat because of that. So I know you're not doing it to like or saying it to be disrespectful, but for me, it's like when you use those certain terms, you're already putting me like in a box of like, okay, let's not listen to anything this guy has to say. Plus, especially when you throw out Alex Jones. I would consider myself to be the exact opposite of Alex Jones. That guy's a moron. Well, first and foremost, he's a Mossad CIA agent. So he's not even like he's just an actor.
He's just out there
He's just
giving
playing his role.
massages, bro.
I don't know if he's doing that. He might be, but like, yeah. So no, it's.
Can I be funny on this or no?
Yeah, you could be.
Okay.
Yeah, you could be.
'Cause
I'm still gonna be me, but you be you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll laugh. Don't worry. I got a sense of humor. But
you said he's a
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you know Mossad.
Oh, Mossad.
Yeah, Mossad.
Oh, I heard Mossad.
No, CIA, Israeli intelligence, Mossad.
I have no idea.
Yes, you do.
I swear.
Stop shitting me.
Dude, so you sent me that video,
Yes.
and I went down the rabbit hole.
Which
And-
one? The Comedy Central video?
The Comedy Central one that you sent me.
Yep.
And then I would pick little key, because I never knew what a PSYOP was. So I started looking about what that kind of stuff was, and then I didn't even know what QAnon was, and I fucking fell down that. And,
That sucks. That's a shitty hole to fall down.
Well, I don't know anything about it still. I heard hours and hours of information.
That's hours and hours of wasted time.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it, but I want to be able to contribute a little bit, but it's like, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's a bad way of thinking, but like I'm programmed to in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, like, I wish I was like you more. I
Okay.
wish like that my life was just like straightforward.
Okay.
And that I didn't take in all this other things. But we'll start with the Comedy Central QAnon stuff. So,
Which I didn't like, by the way,
yeah,
because I felt like you four were trying to say something and they turned it into a joke.
true. But to be honest, dude, this was like this is like in the middle of like my podcast just like getting big. So let me just give some backstory on that. So I started podcasting back in 2015. I actually did the first podcast with Jesse and Jarvis when we lived in Odessa, Texas. We just did it ourselves, though. We didn't put it out there. We just did it for practice because I knew this was a path that I wanted to take. So I told them, hey, guys, I just want to start practicing doing a podcast. And if I'm not talking to the mic, remind me because I'm not used to fucking...
You're
I
good.
would tell you to bend this out a little bit. This
that?
part.
So like this will come down.
Like this.
No, this right here, side to side.
There
right
you
there,
go.
yeah.
And
And then
now point it down a little. Perfect.
All right.
That's
And,
a little easier for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's still weird because I'm just used to... It doesn't matter.
It's weird talking into mics, dude.
Yeah,
But
but
we've
it's
been
okay.
doing it, so we fucking got it.
Yeah, and I haven't done it in a while, so that's...
Yeah. yeah.
been doing
But,
it for a
He likes to
while.
talk into it like this for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know why.
I don't know either. But
He's like,
that's his own deal. No, but so we...
You don't see me
I
in
see
the
you,
background doing my thing. Leave me
see you,
alone.
dog.
Hey, we're trying to get some information here.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, that's when I first started podcasting. I did one with him and Jarvis, and then I just knew that was the path I was gonna take because at that time, like I was listening to like what was it, the Brilliant Idiots podcast, Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan was like big to me because at that time, to me, he was one of the persons that I could relate to who was speaking about things that like he just had a certain set of ideologies that I was like, okay, this guy gets it way more than anyone in the mainstream. So I would listen to a lot of his podcasts and then I started noticing that because at this time I was also like starting to my consciousness was starting to wake up and like I was starting to like be aware of like what the hell is going on Earth, what the hell am I doing here, like what's going on here, and so you start researching, you start reading books, and you start getting into like online communities of people that are researching like the esoteric, which is like the hidden like knowledge that's out there, and then like just people deciphering what's really going on in the world. And Rogan was doing that a little bit, so I started noticing that like he was gaining a lot of traction and momentum towards running for president. Like there's a lot of people online, especially like in the research communities, that were like, hey, Rogan 2020, Rogan 2016, because he was speaking the truth, so that people see him as someone with a lot of common
He's got
sense.
the followers to do it.
Yeah, and he's very logical, commonsensical kind of being. So I saw that, and I was like, damn. So I've been doing my own research, and I'm noticing that there's certain subjects that Rogan won't touch. And I've researched and I'm like, okay, well, why doesn't he talk about this? He's able to talk about certain truths, but then he hides certain other truths, right?
Like what?
I mean, I can't be specific, but at this time, it's just like who's really controlling the world, who's really controlling Earth. So just certain things, and then like it was just things that I uncovered in my research that he just wouldn't touch. So I told myself, well, if he's just speaking the truth and being very logical about it, and people think that he can be president because of that, well, I think I could bring out more truth than he can. I'm not going to hold nothing back because I don't have no one paying me. I don't have no fucking like endorsements that I need to worry about. I'll never sell my soul for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like my ideologies and what I believe and what's in my heart and how I see things can't be manipulated by outside sources.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no amount of money. You could offer me $10 billion right now to sell your narrative. I'll tell you to kiss my ass. So
What if I offer $10 billion to kiss your ass? Is that on the table? Or?
no,
Okay.
thanks though.
That's fine.
But yeah, that's funny.
You? All right.
Yeah, he would do it. He would do. You'd probably do anything for $10 billion, huh?
No,
Which is, and it's not a shot.
I don't think there's
No.
a single thing that I wouldn't do for $10 billion.
I wouldn't sell my soul for
Really?
that amount of money. I wouldn't do anything that's illegal for that amount of money.
Oh,
But you would kiss someone's ass. That's fine.
Like I would kiss Vince McMahon's ass,
oh yeah.
but
That's,
it's just a cheek, For
I would
fuck-
do it just for fun. Straight up. There's $10 million or $10 billion
Yeah,
with a
10
B.
Bs, yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
That might change you when
Like
you
I've
see
seen
it.
the number, but not fucking stacks.
It might change you when you see it. You never know.
No.
I don't know about selling your soul. I think that's one thing that I
Well,
like.
when you say sell your soul too, it's more of like a figurative way of saying, like, it's not literal. Like, you don't fucking like, hey, I'm gonna sell you my soul.
You become a slave essentially when you
just,
do that.
Yeah, you're no longer in control of your own destiny. Someone else is. You're being handled. But let's continue with the whole Joe Rogan thing before we go fucking left
This
field.
is his show, dude. We don't even
No,
need
it's
to
your
be
guys'
let's
here.
show.
go.
I'm just saying.
Let's go.
We don't even
Let's
need to
do
be
it.
here, dude. You're doing it.
Yeah.
No, you guys are awesome. But so that was my thought. I was like, you know what? If I can bring out the truth about everything as much as possible and be logical about it and just really think like what are we doing here on earth? What are we doing here in the United States of America? Like what can we do to make it better? What you start at the very bottom, right? And you go and then you break it down in like a micro sense where you're just looking at like everything from the bottom, right? Like started from the bottom. Like Drake, you know, you start at the bottom, and that's no seriously because like that's the only way you're gonna know what this earth needs and what this country needs is by being in it, is by seeing it, growing up in it, like struggling, understanding what it's like to be a human growing up on Earth in the United States. That's the only way. You can't. There's no. If you didn't do that, you can't come here from another place and say, "I know what this place needs." You'd have to live it out yourself. So, what I'm trying to get at with that is, there's not going to be another person on Earth that's going to be more suitable to speak the truth and to present what's best for the future and where we can take this planet and this country to a better place, like where we can take it. You would only know that if you were in it. So I know that if Joe Rogan speaks somewhat of the truth and people like him because he's speaking logically and they want to be president because of that, well, I have the actual life experience. I didn't grow up on TV. I didn't grow up on Fear Factor. There was another show he was on. I was never part of the system. I've never fucking like had a job in entertainment the way mostly everyone else has. I've always been working. I've always been fucking struggling. So I accompany that with bringing out the actual truth and getting rid of all the bullshit that this world has and presenting that to people. Well, maybe someday people will see me and be like, hey, that guy should be president.
Doesn't that seem weird, though?
What?
That if you got just as much truth as Joe Rogan, why are you struggling if you know the answers to this world and to this life? How are you still struggling if you have the keys to the game?
Because when you do have the answers and someone doesn't want you to have the answers, they do whatever they can to cover you up or to make you look like you're insane or you don't know what you're talking about because they'll have their fake bots or whoever, 50% of America think like, well, what the fuck?
But how do you know that?
Because you're seeing it live and you're feeling it.
I've never seen it or felt it.
Okay. Well, let's
And see, this is where I was worried that it's going to get argumentative because this is where I have questions.
No, it'll never be argumentative
Okay.
because we're just having a conversation.
Okay, good.
So you keep frowning your eyebrows at me though.
Because I'm taking in what you're saying. I'm still thinking about stuff that you said earlier when you said your consciousness was waking up. I want to know what that is. Okay. You were right when you said that an hour and a half isn't going to be long enough. We need days to do this, right? But I'm trying to pick out the most important things, so I'm sorry if my eyebrows are going.
No, it's okay. So where do we go then? Where do we want to go back to?
I want to know. I want to know how come why is Joe Rogan allowed to be where he's at, but you're not?
Okay, because, well, that's a very complicated answer to an easy question. And I'm going to be able to break it down, but you got to just work with me because it's a layered answer. It's not a fucking 1 + 1 = 2.
Okay,
it's a fucking this is an equation.
All right,
a fucking hard one. So the reason why
we need Tito here. If we're doing math, we need Tito, dude.
Yeah. What is it fucking?
3 + 5 is 10, or 5 + 3 is.
That shit's gold, bro. I don't know.
Shout out to Tito. He always get a shout out.
He always gets a shout out,
homie?
man.
I'm telling you, guys need to
talk
do
to
more
you,
podcasts
homie.
with the fucking four of you guys. That it works. The only thing you guys got to do is work on like speaking over each other and people talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you'll say something funny, but then, you got two other guys talking.
Laughing
so if you guys just perfected that, because you guys are all fucking different. It's fucking gold that you guys got, especially with Tito and Jarvis. How the fuck did you get Jarvis
I don't know
to
about
drink?
especially.
Oh, no, yeah.
We're bringing heat without those dudes every
No,
week.
for sure. But there's just something like when I used to love watching Joe Rogan's podcast. I used to like when he had like 3 or 4 other guys on there, and they just were able to have good conversations because
It was always my favorite with Brian Callen and
Brendan Schaub.
yeah, but who's the other fucking guy? Come on, Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo.
When it was those 4, that's when it was fun for me.
yeah, because it's just so many different personalities.
Or
it
Eddie
just
Bravo
works.
and Tim Dillon, or Eddie Bravo and fucking
And don't
Alex
take
Jones.
it like a shot just because he says he likes it with 4 people. But like, if you know who you are, that shouldn't phase you. Like, yeah, it's dope with 4 people.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
hear especially.
Yeah, but let people think how they want
Oh
to
no,
feel.
this is my baby.
Yeah,
I'll fucking
No, see,
correct it all
just,
day long.
I just like when there's
All
like
day
group
long.
conversations because it's just I don't know, it's just fun. It's like when you go out drink. I don't do that, but when you go out drinking and you're at a table with your 3 or 4 or 5 of your closest friends, it's just fun. You get to
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
the shits. But let's go back to the
Yeah.
multi-layered answer to the simple
Okay.
question. So why would it be easy for Rogan to go his path, and why would it be hard for me? Simple, because Joe Rogan is a CIA plant, and I'm an actual being of source, and I'm probably the most feared individual to the intelligence community and to the power structure of this entire world.
What is that? The God?
Sun God with a big G, not a little G.
Big G.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you sent me that video and then I started listening to all your other stuff. So you're into like tarot cards. I saw you in the sun doing energy stuff, right? And what else did I say? Oh, you said you don't believe in like the Christian God. Anyway, I've watched a lot of your stuff. Where like
Go ahead.
how are you getting this?
Getting what?
Like who are you?
I just told you I'm Osiris.
What does that mean?
Sun God. I come from the sun. So here's one
Then
thing that
why
you
are
should understand.
struggling?
Because the entire structure that we're up against was built to make us struggle.
So that's definitely little G then, no?
No, because see what it is, like I said, I wouldn't be able to experience what it's like to be a human, what it's like to be someone that's not bought into the system, that has to actually go through life. I wouldn't be able to understand that unless I lived it, right? You'd have to start at the bottom to get to the top. There's no other way around it. So that's why I'm struggling. Like all the algorithms that you see now, how hard it is to get through those algorithms, all that shit came from me, 100%. From Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. My shit used to blow up back in the day. My shit when it was being put out there, I was doing shit on Twitter way before like Q came out. I was doing shit on YouTube way before Q came out. They put out Q because they didn't know what the fuck else to do. So they said, you know what? Let's get some truths, put it out there, mix it in with a lot of bullshit, and let's fucking make this guy go fucking right field. So
What is
But-
Q? Or who is it? A what or a who?
I don't know. It's at this point I would just say that it's just at least one being, but it couldn't just be one being. I don't know. I don't know. They never revealed that part. But for the most part, it was just like, hey, we're gonna put out information, and then we're gonna put in bullshit, and then, I mean, I learned a lot from it. Like I learned how like politics work, like top to bottom. Like I can go up against any politician in this world, and they wouldn't be able to beat me.
Really?
Yeah, easily. Like if it was
Ben
a fair
Shapiro.
and Ben Shapiro,
Carl Tuckerson.
I would run fucking miles around them.
For
Because-
real?
yeah, 100%. Because let me tell you something. You can't defeat the truth. Keeping up with lies and bullshit is so hard to do. All I have to do is stick to simple facts and truths, and you won't be able to hang with me. All I got to say to Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson is Mossad, and they'll be like, huh? That's it. Because they know that's what they are. All I got to say is say that they're CIA agents, and then they'll freeze. Or say the word Jew, and then they'll freak out. It's that simple. But so to go back to this, so we are Aztecs, right? We are Aztecs. We are Mexicas. The Aztecs and the ancient Egyptians,
Don't nod your head. You're not contributing shit to this whole thing, so don't claim
I'm-
fucking.
which is good because I did notice that he said, you know, my brother's be able to break this down better than I can.
I'm glad
because-
I'm not that smart about this stuff because I feel like the way you're talking, I should be a lot more afraid than I really am.
What does that mean? Why would you be afraid? You should be happy. This is a good thing.
You just
If-
said
if
you're
I'm-
a god,
a sun god, so that's a good thing. Why would you fear that? That's a good, like, there's no such thing as a non-benevolent sun god being here. A sun god's going to be here to fix shit and bring justice. But so the thing is, I wish I knew as much about sports as Jesse does, because he could speak about sports with anyone, top to bottom. But this is just my forte. But he's actually really smart too. He's not, his confidence level isn't there yet, because it's a hard thing to talk about. Like, we're fucking breaking down like centuries of bullshit, and everyone in front of us is like, you're full of shit. That's bullshit. So it's not easy. It's like us against the whole fucking world when it shouldn't be. Go ahead.
Do you think maybe you're too smart because you're saying we're breaking stuff down, right? And I feel like you know in your head the truths, but nothing's been broken down to me. So do you think you're too smart to actually be able to dumb it down for someone like me? Because I don't see any barriers being broken right now. I'm just hearing.
Well, I haven't even said anything.
Oh,
like,
but
I'm
you said
I'm trying to explain to you who we are. So if you let me do that, then maybe you'll be able to piece the parts together. So yeah, it's cool, huh? But so the Aztecs, we're the same beings as the Egyptians.
Okay.
Same exact beings. That's why you see the correlations with the pyramids. The pyramids lining up with Orion's belt in the sky, the Sirius star. So we come from the sun. Our source comes directly from the sun. We are of source. So when I say source, I'm telling you directly from the sun. Like, we don't subscribe to the Darwinism. Do you? Like, is that something that you believe in, like the Darwin's theory?
You're
like,
talking to a guy that did 7 years of high school, dude. I don't even know what that is. Is that Finch's?
No, well, Darwin's theory is.
What am I thinking of?
It's just the evolution, like that you came from an ape.
Oh, it is the Finch's.
I don't know. I don't know if that. I just know that's what Darwin's theory is. It's like ape evolution.
The Finches, the birds.
Yeah, we didn't come from no fucking apes.
No, because they're still apes.
Hold on. We didn't.
Oh, right.
But we're not saying like, because people get. Hold on, time out. People get triggered
Give
when.
me my fucking glasses over there, the black ones, please.
Why?
Give me my black ones.
Why? You're not gonna put them on, are you?
They're on, dude.
Why?
Because if his are on, mine are on.
Oh
There.
my god!
I got 20 minutes of glasses time. Go ahead, man. Give it to me, dog.
No, wear them. Wear them.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no.
If it makes you feel comfortable. There's a lot of light being thrown at you right now.
Light?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Darwin's theory. A lot of people get triggered when you go against Darwin's theory because they truly believe that's where we come from. And that's one thing that the Aztecs have always preached from the very beginning is we're not negating or debating whether certain people, whether they come from an ape. They probably do. They probably do have ancestors that are an ape. We don't. We come directly from the sun. We're not evolving from an ape and then cavemen. No, we're not. We weren't hunter gatherers. That's just not what we are. So we are of source. The sun is our father. Earth is our mother. So we are the child. We are children of the sun and of the earth. So we are directly correlated to, like, Earth is a living entity. It's not just a fucking, it's not just a fucking like thing. It's a living entity. It's a breathing entity. Same with the sun. Have you heard of the Schumann's resonance? Okay. That, the Schumann resonance shows you like pretty much what the heartbeat of the sun is. So they're
the
living
flares?
entities, huh?
Is that the solar flares?
Solar flares. So we can get into that a little bit later because this will all lead into that. But first, I really want to set the stage by letting you know exactly who we are, so that lets you understand why we speak the way we speak.
Okay.
Why it's so different and so alien to you. So when we first, like, let me put it this way. When I first started researching this stuff, first of all, I've known this stuff like the majority of my life, but it's just like, it's weird. It just comes to you in fragments.
It's a feeling that you started with, and you trust the feeling.
Yeah, like I was looking at the sun in high school. Like, I was getting the energy from the sun in high school. I didn't know why. I had no fucking clue why, but I would fucking be looking up, like walking from the fucking my car to the school, from the parking lot to the school, just looking up like, why does no one care about this great light that's in the sky that gives us energy, that gives us light every day without fail? It's always there. So I was always just intrigued by it, right? And so as I fucking started waking up more and more as I got older, and some things went down, and started reading more, and I was like, oh shit, the fucking Egyptians, like they did this shit, like they got their energy from the sun. Oh shit, so did the fucking Aztecs and Mayans. Like this is actually a thing. So it was like, that's when I started thinking, like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? Who am I? Like there's something. It's always been like this indescribable feeling of like there's something going on that's not in the light right now. But let me just stick to Aztecs and why we believe what we believe. So about the sunstone, right? The Aztec sunstone. It's like the calendar as a rock. You've never seen that?
You ever seen the Mayan calendar? It looks like it has.
Yeah, some people know it as the Mayan
Yeah.
calendar.
I'm not Mayan. I'm not.
No, but you've never
I'll show you a
seen
picture,
that
you'll know what I'm talking
design.
about.
You've never seen that with it has like the face of like a
Oh, and it's circle.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I thought it
so
was
that's
just,
the sunstone, right?
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a cool background on a phone or something.
No, so that's actually this right here is actually a calendar. So it's a calendar, and the full sunstone actually shows you like what's going on in our solar system. It has all the fucking planets, the sun, and the moon. So this is dated back to 1500s, early 1500s, before the death of Montezuma. You hungry?
Nervous.
Why?
Just hearing you.
Stop.
Why? It's a good thing.
No, don't be nervous. I should be nervous. I'm on your show. I am kind of nervous.
I'm not nervous.
You just said you were.
I have a bad thing of choosing the wrong words. I'm not nervous.
You
I'm
can't.
just.
There's nothing you can say that's going to offend me.
I'm not trying to offend you,
Okay.
and I'm not even worried about it offending. If you get offended, that's on you.
That's what you just said, though. I choose the wrong words.
I know. I chose the wrong word.
Okay. That was the wrong word you chose. Was
Yes.
nervous.
Listen.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just keep going. Just keep going. I'm listening. I'm listening with open ears. I promise.
Okay. So the Sunstone was written in the 1500s. You're fucking looking at me like biting nails.
Because, dude, the whole time you're talking, I'm sitting here fucking peeling my thumb back. Go ahead. You just told me you're a god, bro.
That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
But
for
he said he's a god too.
No, you're right. But for someone, well, you take it more as because I can't describe or like break it down too much because it's not that important for me for you to believe whatever I feel because that's not my job. That's not what I'm here for. And I know our relationship is what it is. We're fucking friends. We're cool as shit. There doesn't have to be this like daily thing of like, why do I think the way I think, or why am I the way I am? Either you understand that's just who I am, and you're either willing to roll with it, or you're gonna keep fighting that thought and wondering like, well, how come I don't feel that way, or how come?
I hate that you're in my head so much while I'm driving to work and shit. I'm like, these fucking people aren't real. And then
Well,
I'm like,
you called him
Garrett.
a little god on your podcast with Jesse and Jarvis, but you gave him the little G, which was a little fucking uppercut to the gut.
Oh, you did
He
that.
doesn't catch that, but I understand.
Oh, I don't
that.
really
Like
believe it.
Gnosticism and all that shit.
I don't believe that he's a god. I don't believe you're a god. But that's just me. I don't.
Yeah.
What does a god look like? In my mind, a god is fucking, you
What?
know, 7 foot tall, dressed in fucking.
Yeah, it's a very 3D materialistic way of looking at things because
That's all I got.
right, like for example, we were watching one of the WWE pay-per-views, and Michael Cole was like, "Brock Lesnar is the epitome of human evolution. This is the next step." And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck? You might as well go look at a fucking bull and say that's a god too, because that's all he is. But when you think of
Shut up, Brock Lesnar.
yeah, no, he's
dog.
a badass motherfucker. Like I have no.
No,
like,
I'm laughing at what you said. That's
yeah.
funny to me.
No, for sure. But so where should we go back to? Let's see, the Aztecs and the Sunstone.
Yep.
So let's stay there for a minute. So what that was is it's not only a calendar, it's a solar calendar, right? It was actually showing our solar system as well, which if you think about it, it even has Pluto on there. Right? You okay? Dude.
Stop, man.
Well, you're making me nervous.
I always do this.
He
This
has
is
to- he
shit
has
that
to
you don't
check-
see
he
on
has to check
camera.
the,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we don't have like someone to edit and watch our shit, so he
I
has
see.
to make sure shit's working.
No, I hear you.
All right,
But so
glasses are fucking
Pluto
on.
was discovered by
Glasses are on.
American.
Fuck you guys.
Pluto was discovered by American I guess astronomers, you can call them, right? In the 1930s, we had that shit on our sunstone in the 1500s. We don't get no credit for that. Everything that was in our solar system, we already knew this back in pre 1500s. Astrology, we already had everything like back then. And then like, but I can go back to ancient Egypt, but then let me stick to the sunstone. So the sunstone is represented by a calendar that was going to be ending right around this time. No one knows the exact year. Some people said it was going to be 2012, right? You've heard about the 2012 conspiracy theories.
I could tell you my thought process on that.
Yeah, let me just finish my thought process.
Mine's a lot more simple than yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's why, because what we're trying to do is help you understand. That's what you want to do, right? Like you want the information thrown at you.
Of course.
You don't want like vague ass answers, right?
And you're doing a way better job than Jesse's ever done. I'll tell you that right now. You're giving me meat. He gives me milk. You're giving me meat. I like it. Go ahead.
But you know what though?
Give me your meat.
That's how you start, dude. I was like, honestly, like I was him fucking 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I've been doing you can't do podcasts. I learned this the hard way. You can't do podcasts and speak about shit that you don't know about, because you're going to realize that, fuck, I fucked up. I shouldn't have. It's better if you prepare for what you're going to speak about and you know what you're saying, because it's going to flow easily. Mm-hmm. It's easy to tell the truth, man. It's hard to keep up with lies.
Sure.
And that's what we're seeing right now in the mainstreaming with the world. But let's go back to the sunstone. So what the sunstone was symbolizing was the beginning of the sixth sun of justice. So right now we've been going through, before this specific time, we've been going through the fifth sun, which is consciousness. So we come back at this time, and then we start, once we become conscious of who we are and what we are and why we are, then that's going to enable justice to come. So the sunstone was depicting this specific time frame, and what it was depicting and warning, telling everyone, was that this was going to be when the sun god returns to earth. So here we are, 500 years later, actually exactly 502 years later.
Aren't you here?
Yeah. It's awesome, isn't it? So the sunstone pretty much predicted this 100%. So, I don't know. Are you aware with what happened in the 1500s? Are you aware with like the Aztecs, Montezuma?
You want to talk about drugs and gangs? We'll go all day with that stuff. You want to talk about?
Who wants to talk about that, dude?
That's all I got.
It's
right?
not 1990 anymore.
Oh, for me it is, dude. All day.
That's fine.
It's not 1500s anymore
but
either.
This is maybe why you don't understand certain things, because you're not willing to listen. No offense, but I'm trying to give you information, and you want to make it like back to like drugs and gangs. I don't understand that.
I'm saying you're asking me about stuff that I understand. I never spent any time on that.
So then listen.
My energy and my time, I'm listening, but you asked me if I'm getting it right. My time and energy was, dude, I'm not like you guys. You guys grew up completely different than I did. Might I even say a little privileged to have the peace and the time to be able to look at the sun.
Hold on.
I'm going off his words. I'm going off. Okay, go ahead.
You don't know 1 second of my life, bro.
No, but I would think for a god, life would be pretty easy.
To say that I'm privileged is the most...
I'm going off of his words.
I never said we were privileged.
Yes, you did.
Privileged?
You said whitewashed even.
No, the way I talk because of the high school I went to. But privileged? Come on, man.
Break it down.
Dude. Hell no. I lived in trailer parks all the way up into high school, okay?
Well,
that's different. You're talking about like how I carry myself and how I am. That's a little bit whitewashed because of I've learned that
it's not whitewashed.
It's not. I'm just saying that's the only way he'll get it. Is if I speak clearer. Okay, because I don't speak like, for example, and I'm not talking shit. I don't speak like Tito. No one would ever consider him whitewashed, right?
Right.
So that's the only term I can use. But to say privileged, that to me is a joke.
Dude,
a joke.
You are the one that said it when me and Tito were talking. You were the one who was like, I don't know how you guys grew up. I grew up completely different.
I didn't make those decisions. I didn't hang around. I told you in the show. I said, listen,
I'm going off of what you said.
Right, but because I grew up in the same shit you did, I just didn't choose to do those things. Okay? That doesn't make me more privileged. Maybe I just was smarter. Maybe I was just going off of my actual thoughts.
Cool.
But no, privilege, hell to the no, dude.
Great.
Yeah, that's great.
Two hard-ass working parents that both work construction, that were doing everything they can just so that we can go to the movies on Friday.
And they face so much like heat, especially my mom. Even my dad. So
and
it's
I'm not talking shit to you, dude. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm just trying to fix something that's like I never grew up privileged.
Yeah, that's
ever.
Okay. I'm going off of stuff that me and you have talked about. So if you're saying that I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So keep going.
No, well, you're picking and choosing because I didn't do drugs.
Picking and
I'm
choosing
privileged.
what? No.
That's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
So then what is it? When did I ever say I grew up in a big
I'm trying to answer his original
house?
question when he said you're not listening, and I'm telling him that my time and energy went to other shit.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck about any of this. I didn't ever look at the sun in high school and go, why is it? I don't fucking care.
Right.
I'm listening now as a 30-year-old. You're telling me I'm not listening. I'm trying to listen, but you have to understand. You guys have been in this lifestyle for however long. I've been in it for 40 minutes.
It's already been that long?
I've been in it for 40 minutes.
Damn.
No, and it's not even. It's not that, dude. It's not like.
Well, you should be excited. This is a good thing. This isn't a bad thing.
We're not trying to get you to. Again, it's not a thing about forcing you to get this information. Or to take away from what you know.
Yeah, I don't
but
think you're trying to rally troops or anything.
All I'm saying is, you can't always just say all I know is this because you're like, to me, and I've told you this from the beginning. You got to get away from that shit because that's not who you are anymore. Or else, unless you plan on going back, then you can talk about that shit all you want.
Listen, man, I'm answering his question. He asked me, "Do I think about it?"
Oh no,
no,
obviously
I don't think about it.
Yeah, because it's not a visual thing
let's
for
bring
you.
it back home if it's cool with you guys. So what I was asking him is if he knew about like what happened in like the 1500s with the Aztecs and the Spaniards. I mean,
not at all.
Nothing.
Zero.
So you don't know about Cortez. You don't know
Dude,
about Columbus.
I just learned that when they said Houston, we have a problem, that he was not talking to a man named Houston. I just learned about the Holocaust this year. Well, you understand? I'm not going where you guys
you're
are
still
at.
ahead of the game because
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm 39. So like,
well, we don't. Go ahead.
No,
sorry.
I'm not ahead of the game because I'm not lucky to be having this conversation. I'm excited, but this is not a life-changing conversation.
No, I'm
for
not
me.
saying you're ahead of the game because you get to talk to us. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, well,
should feel proud.
No, right. But what I'm saying is because you're at the age you are, whatever that is, you can say, well, I'm barely learning these things. When I was 28, 29, 30, I didn't care about a lot of shit either. I just cared about what was in front of me, what I have to do right now. So it's not about like, well, this is all I know, and I'm barely, like, that doesn't make you less of anything. I still got a lot of shit to learn, and he's been on this earth a little bit less than I have in human years. You know what I'm saying? So, and he knows a lot more about that. It's like he's talking about, I know a shitload about fucking sports. I could talk sports around a circle to anybody. Like anything. And it just comes second nature. That's when he talks about that to him, that's second nature because of his feeling, because of the actual research that he did to figure out why he feels the way he feels.
Yeah, let me just speak.
Yeah, you know. But here's the thing. If you want to continue to speak, like Garrett's going to fidget, Garrett's going to move his hat, do his things, and you have to just go because you're kind of getting the interruptions and you're doing that on your own.
Yeah, because
so just go through it.
I could feel like his energy.
Well, yeah, just go through it.
Right. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's not like a negative energy, but it's just like, for example, in my life experience, when someone's squinting this part, they're shooting out negative energy.
Also, my hat is tight on my head, so I'm moving my fucking fat ass forehead out from under it. That's all I'm doing.
It's all in the eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? But it is
shave them off. Shave them
they're
off
gone,
right now.
dude.
Shave them off.
Just kidding. So let's just
all
keep
the
going.
glasses.
Let's just keep going. So what the sunstone was warning and symbolizing was the return of the sun god. So they deciphered it to be at around 2012. No one really knows if it's anywhere from 2000 to now, or in between. So that's pretty much where we are right now. So when you ask where this information comes from, it comes from history. It comes from the sunstone. It comes from the Popol Vuh. I know you don't know what that is, but that is I'm not talking shit, but he doesn't know either. It's just that's like the Mayan. That's what you would call like the Mayan Bible, right? So that's where the information comes from. So our intellect is directly connected from the sun. So a lot of our intelligence and a lot of how we understand things comes from the light of the sun. So, like, have you heard the term like information, or like nothing travels faster than the speed of light, right?
Mhm.
Well, information comes through that light to us. So a lot of these things, like when he would say something like, hey, the other types of beings that are not like us are already here, it's because we already know it. It's just something that we already have, just by being able to look at someone and saying, that's not the same type of being as myself. And then a lot of our intellect, most of our intellect, comes directly from the sun. So that's where we get our information from. We get it from our eyes and then the all-seeing eye up there.
So what does that feel like?
What do you mean? What does it feel
when
like?
you guys are saying there's people here that or what did you just say? There's people here that aren't.
They're not the same
They're
type
a different
of being.
being.
What do they feel like? How do you
What-
know this? Like, what depicts that?
Okay, so like I can show you an example. Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
Well, for me, no, you do that. I can only speak for myself. For me, it's a feeling that I get. It's an energy that I get. It can be a glance. It can be a fidget. It can be a move. That's why maybe he like, when you're fidgeting or whatever. But like for me, the energy is most telling for me. And for me, it doesn't just work for different beings, but also people that I know genuinely do not want to be associated with me, even though I'm a kind individual. I know when it's fake when someone's kind to me. I know it. They don't got to tell me anything. Or I don't need someone else to tell me, hey, this guy doesn't really like you. I already fucking know. I feel that. I feel some sort of animosity. The reason why I can feel that is because when I was a lot younger, I used to pretend to like people when I know I didn't. And it's a feeling. So, like, me at my point in life, I don't feel that towards anyone. I love everything and anything that's, like, in my area. I don't care. Go ahead.
Let me unmuddy the waters.
Go ahead.
Because what you're saying is not wrong, but you've already explained this to him. So let me give more substance. to it.
Yeah.
So there are different phenotypes of humanoids. We're not all the same. So this being right here is a good example of someone who's nothing like
The
us.
guy getting the soda?
Yeah, that's why I fucking took the picture, because I was like, you know what, let me just, because he tried to bump into me, but I was like, you know what, okay, I'll get this picture and I'll show Garrett so that I can just kind of show him what I see. So this guy's nothing like us. He's not even fucking human. There's his skin, everything from the top to bottom, it's nothing like us. So there are different phenotypes. So you know how like when you say like you see finches, right? You see a finch, little small ass bird, then you see an eagle. They're all birds though, but they're different phenotypes, right? They're not the same exact type of bird. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of different phenotypes. It's the same thing with humanoids.
Is that species?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly, essentially. So there's different types of phenotypes and species of humans, right? So you have reptoids, you have the draconian. Have you heard of draconian, right? Nothing. Jewish people.
Jewish is a species?
Yeah, they're definitely not like of Earth. They're not even of Earth. So the majority of these phenotypes, they're not even of Earth. They've infiltrated this entire Earth system right around the 1500s. Because what happened when the Aztecs were invaded and genocided, that actually, it wasn't from people coming from Europe. They actually came from another planet. So, and it's all described in our teachings and learnings. This planet was invaded at that time. But they said that they came in horses and ships because it's part of their agenda to make it seem that back then we were fucking like ancient motherfuckers that didn't know shit, didn't have no technology, were fucking riding horses and shit, which is the exact opposite of the truth. We were way advanced back then. And there's enough uncovered technologies from that time that prove that. It's all in the hieroglyphs too. We can get into that for hours. Just you got to do your own research if you want to learn about, like, people watching this. Anything that I say, they shouldn't believe it. They should probably just fucking research what I'm saying and see what they get out of it, because that's one of the biggest problems that this world has is we want people to give us information, but we never verify that shit. So yeah, Earth is fucking like pretty much a clown show for like other beings from other places. I don't know if they're still coming here now, and I'm not at the top, right? I don't have fucking top security clearance. I should have top security clearance. I should be fucking like they're like all the military branches are compromised, right? Like everyone looks at the military, like the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force. They look at them and then they automatically give them respect, just because that's what they've been trained to do. But they're actually the ones that are keeping the old system of enslavement going. So the military is actually at this point there to protect the politicians and the world order and to keep the people from rising up. So that's why the military is there. So, but I imagine that there probably is some rogue elements, not rogue to the good people, right? The people that are everyday citizens like us, but rogue elements that are anti-establishment, anti-government, anti-political agendas that are still hiding behind the scenes, trying to, make, like, there's probably a good faction in those. I can't tell you for sure, but I would imagine, just like, I'm crossing my fingers hoping so, but I haven't seen it, but I would just, I keep my hopes up that there is, but at this point, there's no reason why I shouldn't have top security clearance based on just what I know and who I am. But to continue with like that specific time with the Sunstone, Montezuma was king, right? He was God King at that time. So he was the last God King to be here. Some people say that Montezuma was Quetzalcoatl. Do you know who Quetzalcoatl is?
Only from video games.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What video games?
Like Mortal Kombat and shit.
Okay. That shit's funny. So, but we don't know that. I can't tell you that for sure. But what I do know is that Osiris and Quetzalcoatl, it's the same being, the same spirit. So it's just like, do you know who Ra is? Sun god Ra?
Yeah.
Okay. Osiris is Ra. It's the same being. So look at it like, you've seen Ra with the fucking hawk head, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I only know that.
Okay. Do you know what that mask is? I'm going to tell you something right now.
It's a mask?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Think Iron Man.
Okay.
That's what it was. So back then, that was the technology that he had, was the mask. And if you look at Iron Man, whenever his mask like lifts up in two, it looks like a fucking hawk from the side. So it's almost like hidden symbolism that Iron Man was actually like a depiction and symbolic of Ra. But you can do your own research on that and say this guy's full of shit. Because I didn't write Iron Man, so I can't prove it to you. But that's what I get from it, just from connecting the dots. But like the ancient Egypts had the Great Ennead. That was a group of 12 people of superhumans.
The Great what?
The Great Ennead.
Oh.
And I don't know if I'm saying it exactly how they want me to pronounce it, but it's Ennead. No, Ennead. Ennead. The Great Ennead. But there were 12 beings who had superpowers. Same thing with the Aztecs. They had Tlaloc, god of thunder, rain, and storms and lightning. Quetzalcoatl was the god of the sun and lord of the winds. He had control of the solar winds. And then you had Huitzilopochtli, god of fire.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, Huitzilopochtli is like a hummingbird. So
I want
he
that
was
tatted on my knuckles, dude.
Huitzilopochtli.
His bombs.
Well, it's crazy because with him, like, he had the heart of fire, right? He had that fiery spirit, but he was also as sweet as a hummingbird.
That's me.
There you go.
That's me.
That's it. See, that's when I'm excited about these things, because like I'm excited to tell you these things because that's what we want. We don't want people to be like, oh, what the fuck? These guys think they're this, or they think, no, dude, you might be something that you don't even know. I don't know. I don't know who or what you are. But I'm not saying that you're not like something, special.
You know what I ask him all the time? Am I real? And he'll be like, to me, you are.
Well, are you?
I'm asking you.
Well, I'll say this. So
You feel energy, right?
Well, I can feel, I can feel energy 100%. So, but let me put it to you like this. I think you're real, but like there are a lot of CIA agents just flooded across America. So, but the thing is they operate off of like supercomputers and like a hive mind. So even if you weren't, you wouldn't know it most likely because it wouldn't be part of your programming. You know what I'm saying? So you
That's
could be
fucked up.
It is. It is, but hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you were a bot like living in a human cell, like if it was like that, would you be able to function if you knew that you weren't of source? No. You'd be like, what the fuck? You wouldn't last long because you'd be like, I'm not real. Like I'm just a fucking bot. You wouldn't make it. You wouldn't be able to function properly.
But you feel my energy.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has energy.
I know. How's it feel?
I'm undecided yet. It's getting less heavy as we go.
That's a fat joke.
No,
It's a fucking
No,
fat joke.
no. You got to think in above 3D. Stay at like that's more material like type thinking.
I was joking.
I know.
Go ahead.
Are we connecting here? Is there a connection?
I
Are we
like
starting-
you. I hope you like me.
Well, it takes time.
Yeah,
We're not there yet. But that's not a bad thing. I don't dislike you.
You
I
would
will-
not be in my home if I didn't like you.
What really? Why not?
This is my home.
Well, I mean,
This
for
is
like
my
the podcast,
space.
because I imagine you might have other guests that you're not like really fucking
After the
feeling
fact.
100%.
Yeah. After the fact.
Yeah,
After the fact.
yeah, we've had those for sure.
Because I will say this to kind of go left field real quick on a personal level. So I've watched like the majority of your podcast. I probably watch more of your podcast than anyone else has, right?
My man.
And it's fun to see because it just brings back to when I first started mine and the excitement that you had starting it. It takes a lot of balls to do it. It's not easy. So what you've done, even just right now where you're at right now, it's a big accomplishment, like a huge one, because it's not easy to go against the norms of society and do something like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So props to you, and props to you guys for both. Anyone that comes on here and does this shit, actually, it's not easy. So like anyone else that you guys have had on, that's props to them too. But so I've watched a lot of your podcasts, and I did notice that in the last few episodes, there's been some tension here in regards to ideologies and the way, belief, the BS, right? The belief systems, the bullshit, BS.
I think that's because we knew this was coming.
Right. And it sucks because it almost brought upon a lot of stress to me because I was just like, fuck, man. Like, I want to talk about like the dope shit that's about to happen on Earth. I don't want to fucking argue with someone who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to fucking like come across like, hey, you have to believe me. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did. So like the hard part for me was, I'll be honest with you. There was many times where I was like, I don't like this guy.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's fine.
Right. But let me explain it. And I'm being 100% transparent with you, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, God, man, it's like, what am I like this? I can't, it's not reciprocal, like the relationship. And this is all I'm seeing from the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only seeing what's on video, right? So it's not, who knows? But what I started seeing is you were kind of breaking him down and like attacking his belief systems and saying, well, why do you believe that? Why do you think you're this?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, what I saw was the exact opposite of what your friends do for you. Because you have your journey that you're going on, and your friends are like, you can do it. We believe in you. You're there. They're motivating you. You just got to get in that, stay in that right energy that you're in. And to me, I saw you like kind of like chopping him at the legs. Like I almost saw like you doing the opposite of what he was doing for you. So that's why I was like, damn, why are you trying to break someone's down, like someone's like belief system down? Like that's how I saw it. So I as his brother, I know we're just doing this as like host and guest, but as his brother, I was like, this dude's trying to set my brother back like 10 years because
I fully planned on this being a 2-on-1.
but it's not though. And later we'll get into Trump and that'll help it fucking even it out. But see, like, for example, I just saw it as you attacking like his growth spiritually.
Attacking.
Yes, because like anything that he would say, you're just like, why do you think that? Why do you think this? Why do you think that? And so, like, I want to play something for you real quick, but I want you to explain to me what this means.
Your brain tells your entire body what to do, so it would only make sense that your brain would tell you, yes, you can do it, or no, you can't do it. It's that fight or flight type situation.
Right.
What you need to do is you need
You remember
to
this?
stop fighting. You need to stop running away from your problems. And so you think, so you shall be.
How fucking old is that?
That's you, buddy.
That's dope.
How old is that?
The entire world.
I don't know. You tell me. So what you're essentially
That's
saying here,
dope.
Dude, that's before Wyatt.
yeah, what you were saying there though is that your mind is powerful, and what you believe, your mind can create. So when you attack, even if he believes that he's something like,
Oh,
say,
I know.
yeah, if he like, whatever he believes, it goes against your original ideologies because that's what he's doing. His mind's powerful, so if he believes he's a god, then by your own words, he's a god.
But how do you know that? That's what I'm always
You're the
going
one
to
who
go
said
back
that.
to
I don't know. You tell me. That came from
First
you.
of all, I don't know what I was talking about, right?
No. You know
That's
exactly.
the most I've heard you talk about.
I
That
don't
was
remember.
dope.
Hold on.
I don't remember what I was talking about. I don't know where I was in my time.
Tells your entire body what to do, so it would only make sense that your brain
Oh, I heard it.
would tell
Yeah.
you
So my favorite part, though, this is actually dope that you said this.
That's great.
work hard enough. Anything you want
Right here.
is in the entire world. You can. The mind, you guys, is one of the strongest, most powerful influences in the entire world. Strongest,
I still
most
believe that.
Powerful influences in the shall be.
Right here. This is the one I'm looking for.
So you think, so you shall be.
So you think, so you shall be.
Mind, you guys.
That's what
Was
you
I
said.
reading a quote?
I don't know, dude. That's your YouTube. Not
I think
mine.
I was. I don't. Dude, first of all, I don't remember that. Second of all,
Good shit.
I
Have you been brainwashed then? Since then?
You
Maybe.
might be a bot. You don't even know
maybe,
it.
maybe. I don't know. I was on drugs.
No, you sound very intellectual.
Oh, I was definitely
there.
on drugs in that apartment.
Let's see. When was it?
I was definitely on drugs in that
Well,
apartment.
they do say that babies and drunks do tell the truth.
Oh, this was 4 years ago. This was
Yeah, I was
2017 October.
definitely.
But like for example, dude,
First of all, that was
I
dope. That was dope as fuck.
it is dope
Yeah.
as fuck.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Why? What's so dope about it? I like
Because
what you said. That's what I was excited
Yeah,
about.
exactly, because of what he said. And like, it doesn't matter to me, dude. That's just a reminder of you don't need to worry about or think about your consciousness in that moment or what you were doing, but the message. That's the shit.
Powerful.
For some reason, you did that. For some reason, you recorded that and you put it out there. And I'm not telling you to use it for your reminders because you.
But
It's
we're
like
full
everything
circle
that you've
now.
always asked me about. I don't. At the end of the day, dude, I don't care if you believe me or not. It
Okay.
doesn't bug me. Like, and he's right, but I don't take it as. For me personally, I don't take it as you chopping me down because I don't really care what you think of me.
Yeah, he's like the hardest egg to crack, right?
I don't
You've seen
really.
that. Like,
I don't care. I will help you as much as I can. I'll give you any information you want, but anything more than that, as far as like believing or why.
I did
either-
bring you a gift.
What?
I did bring you. It's just a little rock. It's a heart-shaped rock.
Oh. Thanks, man.
I've never done that. That's fucked up.
Don't throw it away either.
I'm not going
Like,
to.
put it somewhere.
No.
It's a heart. I
You know
picked it
why?
up, and I was
So
like, I'm gonna give this to Garrett.
No, I like this.
It's the rock.
It'll give me something to fucking rub on.
Yeah, it's good luck
Ooh.
actually.
I appreciate it.
Powered by the energy of the sun.
Oh man, I need that in my pocket. Look, the reason I feel like, and that's cool. You're sticking up for your brother. I like that a lot.
But only because like I saw, and I hate to interrupt you. I hate to jump in. I hate when people do that to me. So I apologize ahead of time. But the only reason why is because like I know how hard he's worked to gain the confidence to really put himself in a mindset of so you think, so you be. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can create your own reality to an extent, right? Like there's a lot of fucking things going on in the background these days, so it's not easy to do this. But I just know how far he's come from like maybe 5 years ago. So I was just like, why is my dude attacking my brother on like his growth, like spiritually, you know, like because I know that he wouldn't do that to you. He can be
Weird.
disrespectful sometimes. So when I heard, like when you guys had that little spat, and he called you the B word, I was like, Jesse, you can't be doing that, man. You can't call another grown. So you know, it's not like I'm just saying like it was just you against him, but I also noticed that I was like, dude, you can't be calling another grown man bitch.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Like it's
Right.
just, even if you're playing, it's just
Because I've done it to him too,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
fucking like, and
Yeah.
I just like I apologize to you. I apologize. Maybe it took
Yeah.
a day or two for me to do it because of just whatever we've created, and I've always felt like everything goes under the rug when we say shit, but like it was just a feeling like, okay, yeah,
So when I heard the story, when you guys told it right on the podcast, I was like sympathizing with you. I was like, I've been there. I don't like that either. Like and I was actually disappointed.
So the reason I don't feel like, and also I hate that other people might think that I was attacking you, is because that was not my intention. Because I'm on the cutoff game, dude. It would be easy enough for me to be like, fuck you, I don't want you in my life anymore. I'll do that. I've done it to a lot of people, but I love you. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
And so these are my questions. And that's why I've never told you you're wrong. That will not come out of my mouth. I will have questions, and I will want a deeper understanding.
You're on the fence. You're unbiased and on the fence. Right?
I'm curious.
Yes.
I'm curious, but it's not me. And
it makes for a good dynamic.
think
though,
whatever
too.
you want,
Yeah,
right?
right.
I was not trying to chop you down. I know you don't give a fuck, but now that it's been brought to my attention, I have to speak on my character.
Yeah.
I am not trying to chop you down. I'm not trying to ruin your growth. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to have
And he
you
doesn't
stop
even think that probably.
talking to. Cool.
Yeah.
Then this is for everybody else.
Yep.
I accept you the way you are. You've said that. I've said that. We're cool. I try to build you up as much as I can. I'm genuinely curious. Please.
Thank you.
I'm genuinely curious. I have questions. I want to learn. I want to know, because I started this conversation off by saying I am very close-minded. So now that I'm trying to expand on that, the only way that I can learn anything is by asking questions that I don't believe in. They have to be those questions.
I understand that. And that's very admirable. But I'll tell you this, just from my own experience. The only way you're going to be able to accept anything that might be a truth that isn't to you right now, which I'm not saying that you're wrong, but the only way you'll understand things is if you learn it on your own. And I know that's like the shittiest answer, right? But like, I can tell him a bunch of shit about what I see, but until he sees it on his own, he's not going to understand it.
Or feel it
Same
on my
thing for
own.
me.
Yeah.
He can tell me that's with everything. He could tell me, dude, fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, fucking best show ever. Sure it is.
But until you take it in, that's why when you ask me, I'll give you what I can give you, but it's not my duty to force you or make you think the way I think.
No.
It's more like, this is what I do, and I don't really care if I don't give you the right information that you're looking for. I just give you what I know. I give you what I feel
But it
in that
creates
moment.
a good dynamic between you two, because you have
Not
one
if
that's,
people think I'm attacking him.
it's
No,
probably
but
it's probably just the protective brother.
No,
in
but
me.
even
You
if
know
it,
what I'm saying?
I think it's real good, because I think people want to, and we don't stage none of this. We don't script none of this shit. But I think if people sometimes think like, damn, they're at each other, I think that gives more reason to tune in next time to see
Yeah, it works.
how far this train's going to go.
It can work, and plus, it
But, like,
also works when you guys bring on other guests too. Like the last guest you guys had, that guy was funny and he was cool. Like but you related to him with a lot of things, and then he related to him with certain things too. So those dynamics, it's a good thing, because you know what? It's a very diverse world, and there are a lot of people who have more of an open, expanded mind, right? But then there are also some who are just like, I don't know. You got to show me more. So it's not a bad way to be, and it's not that you're wrong. And it's not even essentially that we're right. But what does the Sonder experience mean?
So Sonder is a word that it's a realization that the people that you come in contact with every day have a life just as complex as your own. They have goals, aspirations, and dreams, but you would never know that until you sat and talked with them.
That's perfect for what this is.
Right.
It's like you can explain it any more better than that, because it doesn't mean that your life experience is wrong, or that Cheryl's is wrong, or that Jesse's is right. It's just everyone's going
I'm
through
right.
their own fucking
Fucking
POV.
right. I'm right.
Yeah, that's
fucking
Jesse.
right.
You know him by now, I imagine.
Yeah.
So it's almost comical, but he's serious, but it's still funny because it's just who he is. But yeah. So but what I wanted to say is, I wanted to be transparent with you. When I saw that, I was just like, damn, like he's trying to break down my dude. So just out of protection, right?
Why would I do that though? What do I gain from that?
I don't know. That's your call, not mine.
I don't have any. It wouldn't do anything it would make I feel bad now. So if I actually was trying to break him down and it worked, I would feel even worse.
Dude,
but you weren't though, so you shouldn't.
Right, but I feel bad that it was even seen that way, because I would chop somebody's fucking head off with a spoon for this guy. That's just what it is.
That's dope. But that's
Is it though? Why do you want to chop someone's head off with a spoon?
I will do it.
Well, that's a cool saying, because sometimes I get mad, and in my head I be like, I want to stick the spoon, where, because I know it hurts that way. But anyways,
Just wish diarrhea upon them. That's the
I
safest
do.
bet.
I do. That's one
Wish-
thing that I
wish
do. I was like,
diarrhea
I hope
on
you
them
get
for 2
diarrhea for
days.
2 weeks. No, I do 2 weeks. You better drink a shitload of water, because you're going to be dehydrated like a motherfucker with these 2 weeks of diarrhea
All
for you
right.
doing me wrong. But no, and I don't mind having to remind you, or when you bring something to me and I have to continue to say, if I have an issue with you, I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so very like, everything goes under the bridge to me. A lot. I don't, because to me, shit's not fucking serious. I don't really give a fuck.
And I don't tell him these things because it's just like his friends
I didn't know what he was going to come with.
His friends
None of this is like premeditated, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, because his friends are his friends. Like he's just more friendly guy. So typically, like in our last like 10 years that we've been in contact with each other, like he usually gets the friends, and then I'll fucking sneak in and like sniff them out, and I'll come in later because it's just like we're different when it comes to that. I'm not a.
No, but I know where my heart is. I'm a great friend.
Yeah.
That's easy for me to say because it's the truth. I love hard, and so it's frustrating for somebody to think that I didn't, because I would never want to do that. And so you bring it to my attention. If that's really what it seemed like, then I got to fix that.
No, you don't.
I have to.
No, because that's not a feeling that I have.
Yeah.
It isn't. What are you going to fix it to him?
I'm very protective, dude. Like I'm very protective.
No, you don't fix that shit to me. I don't want no fucking gifts. Don't do that shit. Okay.
Oh, it's coming.
No.
I already know what it is.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show up.
I'm very protective and like, especially.
I already know what I'm getting at.
Dude, but that's the thing is like, so if we get a guest next week, when we get a guest next week and they say, well, we were watching show 28 and I don't like the way you said this to Jesse. Oh, now you're going to feel bad again? No, dude, because it's about what I feel.
I'll say this. So just to kind of fucking like make this a little bit more clear. Not clear, but to lighten up the mood. When Tito fucking said, I was like, when Tito said this, I was fucking cringing. And, shout out to Tito. I'm not talking shit, but just to kind of even it out.
Oh, he's talking shit.
He was like,
fuck
now
Tito.
they were drunk, right? So this was the second, but this is episode 48 or 47.
48.
I'm still trying to figure out how you got Jarvis
both.
to drink.
Both.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how you got Jarvis to drink, dude. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I can't. Yeah, I think this is the second one later in the show, and you could tell everyone was, fucking intoxicated.
Sloshed.
Especially these two. Classic episodes, by the way, dude. The laughter's contagious for sure, especially your laughter. But Tito was like, if I was you, dog, I would never go to the gym, bro. I hate going. I would, and I was like, what the fuck is, like, did you hear what you just said? Like, if I was you, I would never be able to go to the gym. And I was just like,
He was like, you stick out like a sore thumb.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I remember.
Yeah, so when he said that, I was like, I think he didn't, the alcohol fucking, his filter did not come through at that point. But yeah, it happened.
That was, that
he didn't
was.
mean it like
No, no,
negatively.
no.
But no, that was it, his insecurities being projected onto what if he was you.
Yeah, right.
That's what he was doing.
Roles reversed. You're
You're a
And you were
bad
trying-
little kid,
you were-
motherfucker.
You were trying to get him to understand, like, hey, did you hear what you just said?
Right.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And he meant no harm.
He's still trying to figure out if he's gonna fuck his lady or his mom. He doesn't know. What he's doing.
Oh my god.
He's like, what do you mean if I was my mom? He was doing 3 plus 5.
my lady while my mom's recording. What the fuck
Like,
are you talking about?
When I watched that, I was like, this is the most degenerate fucking conversation 3 grown-ass men could be having. And they're all fathers, right? Is Tito a father?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're all fathers. And they're talking about the most degenerate fucking, like, option. Their mom or their sister. Or
Their mom or their
wife.
lady.
Yeah. And I was just like, God, I can't.
But what's
don't-
the other person's mind? That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah. So tell them real quick what it was, and then that way I can finish the story. Like, just the
No, I
people
watched
watching.
it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much. Well, just in case anyone didn't see that, the question was,
Oh, if your mom and your lady Freaky Friday, then the only way to bring them back is to fuck one of them. Who are you choosing?
so if your mom and your lady swap minds.
Correct.
So when you guys first started talking about it, I was like, God, why are they talking about these things? I'm like, what am I doing listening to this? Like, I don't want, like, this is so degenerate. And then Tito just comes through, bro. And I was like, what?
This is why I stuck around.
And I was like, this is like fucking gold, right? And yeah, dude, I don't know.
I like
just-
comedy. I listen to Joe Rogan, but I listen to a lot of all the other guys that have ever been guests on him. That's where I learned the Bobby Lees and all that shit, right? So I'm raunchy.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of comedy that I think is funny. So when I bring it to the table and people don't know what to do with it, half the shit that I say on here isn't real. I've never had fingers in my ass. Ever in my life. Let alone 3. Okay.
Mm.
But those two drunk bastards wouldn't stop and they wanted a number. I was like, 3, fine. And they went with it. It's the shock value that I
Yeah.
fucking like. That's
Yeah.
what's funny to me.
I don't believe you. Just kidding.
That's all.
So
It was 4. It was
to kind of get back on track, I kind of want to throw this out there because we had this little conversation because we always talk about simulation, and I've broken down what I feel simulation is, in my perspective. But then we talked about it a little bit, and you broke it down to where I was like, yeah, that's exactly, but I just don't know how to put it out in fucking words.
It's hard to fucking put this shit into words, dude.
But so explain the theory that I talk about when it comes to simulation and how this world works.
Okay. So, God, I also want to get into
We will.
because the sunstone and the return of the sun god and then the solar flares. Like, I think I absolutely have to touch that. Where are we?
We got another 40 minutes.
Okay, that's a lot. So I think we can do this for
Yeah.
sure.
We're at an hour and
Do you
12
want to do
right
that
now.
first and then talk about simulation, or do you want to talk about simulation?
I'd like to go with the simulation now because the solar
Yeah.
flare thing is more of what's going on right now in the present day.
Okay.
So
Will you come back so we can do more of this?
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to be like fucking. I don't want to do it too often. Not because it's not a great show, but because it's very stressful to me. To like.
Well, whenever you want to come back,
Yeah,
like
but
whenever you're
honestly,
ready.
Like that's why I was like, when Jesse's like, "Hey, you should do the show," I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna need like a month." Like I literally told you that. Like I just because right now, and the reason why it's very stressful for me is because I'm struggling so hard to like pay rent. Like my rent's very expensive for me, and it's just I'm good at making my life hard on myself too. So it's like I got like a lot of shit going on outside right now that I need to fucking just wrap up. And then, but I'm almost there. I'm right there. Got some court things that I got to take care of here in the next month. Which
I'm right
man,
there with you, dude. I promise.
yeah, it's the shitty part about life. But
I'm on the struggle bus.
This is the last shitty 30 days. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I'm about to fucking reach
You know,
the top after this shit,
astrologically
motherfuckers.
astrologically speaking, that's actually true. But that we
Okay.
can't get into that right
It's
now.
a feeling, bro. You know,
Yeah.
shit. Let's go.
Yeah, and it like this new moon that we just had is one of the last heavy ones that we've had because there's a lot of energies hitting Earth. But we'll talk about that more here in a minute once we get to the solar flares. Let's go back to the simulation theory,
Yeah.
if that's cool with you
Damn,
guys.
you are fucking smart.
Thank you, but
I
no.
can't.
Dude, he can speak for 5 hours straight.
It's not that. I forgot we were talking about simulation. And you like compartmentalize shit, right? And I
Yeah.
feel like there's drawers in your brain that you can fucking pull open and you're like, oh, this is where we were.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
I
does feel
wish
like that.
I wish he wouldn't ever had to have like wiped his whole YouTube shit. Because if you would have just sat through like one back in fucking 18, 17, any of those years, then you would have been like, holy shit.
There was times where it was like there was something else very magical going on with the podcast, and I wish it would have fucking went like the Joe Rogan route. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the plan, right? It just wasn't going to be allowed to happen. But there was a good. I'd like to say the summer and fall of 2019, right before I quit. There was just every podcast was straight fire, and like the present. Everything was just magic, bro. I can't explain it, but it was fun. But
Yeah.
it's past me now. It's not.
You don't ever want to get back into it?
No, because it's not worth it. Because I was getting a lot of dark energy projected onto me, so I was having to fight that. Plus, do the podcast for free, right? And then because I was demonetized, and then plus having to fucking work and try to make ends meet, and then dealing with the fucking agents that I got to deal with in real life. So it was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking evolve in front of a fucking screen. You know what I'm saying? I have to fucking just work on myself for the next few years, and there's gonna be other people, hopefully, that can take the baton and speak the truth, or just have good podcasts. Because in the end, right now, there's a lot of bullshit going on. I mean, there was always bullshit going on, but right now, there's a lot of bullshit going on. So like anyone that's putting out like entertainment things like this and like trying to make people laugh, I think that's like a gift of God, because people need that more than anything right now. Because there's just so much bullshit everywhere, dude. You can't fucking turn on the radio. You hear one good song, and then the fucking radio DJ be like, "Hey, Russia, Ukraine, go."
Right.
It's just never ending.
Or take these pills because you might be going through this, or
Yeah, fucking
there's a
erectile
high
dysfunction.
Yeah, there's a high
They're
rising
obsessed.
percentage with fucking
Blue Chew is
prostate
hot
cancer.
on all the podcasts right now, dude.
Yeah?
Oh,
What's
man.
that?
Blue Chew?
Yeah.
Over the counter Viagra?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're obsessed with erectile
I'd sponsor
dysfunction
them,
for
though.
some
They can
reason.
fucking, hey, shout out Blue Chew if you guys want to fucking get on me, dog. I'll fucking push it.
Oh, they're gonna push in you.
I hope so. Simulations.
Simulation. So,
Aliens.
oh, fucking.
That
yeah,
meme?
That fucking meme. That's classic, actually. And honestly, actually, I'm not going to start talking about ancient aliens. But, because that was a dope show back in the day. It was fun to watch. Because at that time, there was nothing on TV. But anyway, simulation. So how I see it is, and I've put a lot of thought into this and done a lot of research, listened to what other people's understandings and ideologies and fucking theories are. So this is like accumulation of my research, other people's thoughts and their research and their, things that they put out on YouTube or their radio shows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And, my life experience. But the way I see it is, I think that if anyone have you ever been a driver? Like a delivery driver?
For Lyft.
Okay. Like, was it like a full-time thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then maybe I might be wrong here, but the way I saw it was once I started doing that, it became more clear than ever how much there's a simulation running here. So I'll break that down more. I don't know where, we have to be a simulation, right? Like a simulation, it doesn't mean that we're all fucking a projected computer screen or nothing like that, right? But there's something going on that's out of our control. So it's being simulated, right, in a way. So, but I know I'm convoluting everything by saying that, but let me just go back to fucking point zero. The way I see it now is there's 100% a simulation full of NPCs being projected onto Earth, played like in everyday society. I see it every day when I'm driving. It's just been too many coincidences day after day after day after day for years where it's like, okay, that was a coincidence an hour ago, but it just happened again. And then repeat that for like 700 days. It's just, there's no way that's not a simulation. For example, I could be at a fucking stoplight and getting ready to turn right, and at that specific time, there come people getting ready to cross the street, making me wait. It happens once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, coincidence. It happens, people are walking. But when it happens over and over and over and over again, you start thinking, what the fuck is going on? And then you start noticing like you even see glitches in some of these people. So for example, I was at East Porta, right, on Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard off Desert. And so these things tend to fucking follow me wherever the fuck I go. Some are fucking active bots, NPCs. Others are actual agents. But that I can't go too left field. I will get into that, but let me just stay focused with what I'm trying to say with this train of thought. So, for example, there's this at this one time that I was working out. There's this guy who was just following me. They tend to follow me and stare at me throughout their whole fucking workout. And I'm not like these guys. I've never been like fucking super fit ever. So there's nothing to look at. And I always wear the same clothes. Like I have these shirts here. I have fucking like 4 of these blue ones, like 3 red ones, 2 black ones, and 2 gray ones. I wear the same fucking shirts every day. Same pants. I have like 4, like I wear I'm not, I'm not fucking here to like trying to be like a fashionista because I'm not that. I'm a very simple being. But I noticed this guy just acting super strange, and I'm doing bench press like later in the workout, and he just fucking like, so I'm fucking bench pressing, right? That's me. And then he just comes and stands right in front of me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what does this guy want to fucking fight me? Is he gonna ask me something? So I'm like, all right. I fucking put the thing down, and then I get up. And I look at him, and he's just fucking like, you're me, and I'm him. He's just like this.
Stuck.
And I'm like, dude, are you okay? He goes, yeah, sorry. And then he just fucking kept going around with his day. So that's one example. Those things have happened a numerous amount of times. Not like a million, maybe a good, 5 to 10 times. Little things like that. But it's 100% a simulation. And I think what they have is from, again, with the research that I've done, other people's ideologies and just other things that I've seen, and then my own personal opinion, I'm pretty much sold on the fact that we'll just stick to 99% of people are bots. So when I say bots, they're clones. So they're in human bodies, right? But they're run off of some sort of hive mind. So there's also that. Then there's also like the possibility of energies being able to bring their consciousness into those bots at a specific time. So, for example, these bots could all be running, like say, let me put it this way. This could be one of your fucking bodies, right? One of your empty shells that your consciousness can come into. You could also probably have like another 8 to 10 other bodies out there working in like fucking like autopilot mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have the possibility to, for whatever reason, whenever you have to, whenever you're dialed in, your fucking consciousness goes into that body. And so you're now controlling that body. So, in my research, they were actually doing that in ancient Egypt. They were transferring their consciousness from one body to another. Whenever one body would fail them, they would transfer their consciousness to a new body and then, boom, live their life. So they were essentially immortal because you would never die because your energy, your consciousness, it doesn't die. It just goes elsewhere. This body might die, right? But your consciousness will go somewhere else. So going back to simulation, I see it every day.
Sorry, I just dialed in.
Happens.
I just
It literally could be like that. But yeah, it's impossible. And then the way we've seen it is in our own life experiences. So when we lived in Odessa was the highest growing community in the United States of America. So more people were moving to Odessa at that time than anywhere else in the world. From Odessa, we moved to Denver. Back to Denver, right? Because we're from Colorado. Well, I'm from Colorado. We moved to Colorado, and then suddenly, guess what's the highest growing fucking
Colorado.
state? Colorado. But if that's not enough, we moved
Buckeye.
to Arizona. Boom. And see what I'm saying? It's just one after another. So you start noticing these things, and then like, do you know what gang stalking is?
Mm-mm.
That you sure?
He probably saw it on Pornhub or some shit, gang stalking.
So
Gang stalking.
Yeah. So what it is so pretty much I go to the gym.
He's listening. He's
I go to the gym, and then like soon as I get there, fucking a bunch of agents just start showing up, and they're so stupid because they make it obvious themselves. Like they're really stupid agents. Like, and that's another thing too that I want to put out there real quick is a lot of people think that the people running this world are like smart because they speak intellectually. Dumbest motherfuckers you could ever come across.
Really?
Dumbest yeah, the shit that they do, they make it so blatant and so fucking evident, and it's just it's like when they fucking decided that they were going to run Biden, I was like, I don't know who the fuck they're going to run against Trump. I was like, because I don't know, no one's going to beat him. Like, there's no one that can beat him. And like the thought of Biden running was out there. I was like, there's no fucking way they do that. Like they would never do something that stupid, and then they fucking did it. I was like, holy shit! But like this, literally, they do that shit. Like everything for the most part that they do, you can just fucking predict that shit. Like they're gonna go this way or they're doing this for that. If you're just analyzing it, and I've been analyzing this entire world for pretty much for as long as I can remember. So like that's been a big part of like my journey too. Is I've just been like analyzing, like understanding, but still living a normal life, still doing stupid shit, fucking up, living and understanding the human experience. But
can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Thinking the way that you think and believing the way you believe, I've asked him too, is it hard to enjoy life?
Oh, he can answer that for me. Answer it for me.
Fuck yeah, it's fucking hard to enjoy life.
Yeah. And like
For him.
Yeah.
For me, it's not
like he
that,
helps
like
me,
that.
dude. Like people that have more of a normality way of going about their life, like I cling on to them because I'm just like I feel like I'm just on an island. Not that I'm like fucking proud of it, because it's not an easy thing to do. But the way I see it is, if I don't do it, then Brian's gonna have to do it. And like Brian, he's that's his son, right? But that's my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't call him my son because we just have a more brother relationship, and Jesse has a very friendly relationship with his brother too, or with his son too.
Both.
But Brian's like my little brother, so if I already know Brian and I are fucking so like 100%. Like we come from
The thought process. Yeah.
like everything. We're very very alike. We tend to like the same things. So the way I've always seen it, like if I don't fucking knock down these walls, he's gonna have to, and that I know how hard this shit is. So it's worth it. But yeah, to be honest, yes, it's fucking really hard to enjoy life. It's the hardest thing, especially like in the last like 5 years. And everything's been so ramped, especially since I started podcasting and then, putting everything out there. It's been really hard. It's been hard for my family, but now I got over like the hardest part. So now I'm just like that's cool how you see that magic.
I'm in my own head right now, and I'm kind of freaking out.
Why? Go ahead, do
No.
it. Let's hear it. It's a good time. The what? The love rock? The heart rock?
So
What's
we
up?
were arguing,
Uh-huh.
and me and him got loud.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I brought you something.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I'm fucking doing this, and I'm feeling real docile. I'm feeling real comfortable. I'm
Good.
hearing you
Tranquil.
talk. What the fuck is this?
It's love, bro. I told you it's powered by the sun. How often do you see a rock that's shape of a heart? It's not perfect, but it's pretty close, right?
Looks like ass cheeks.
Whatever you
Well, that
could-
looks like a real heart.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
9 and 6.
You could have your 6-year-old paint it, make it look nice, and be like, hey, paint rocks. Kids actually love to paint things. I'm sure you probably noticed, but
So that's what I'm saying. That's why this stuff is interesting to me and informative and entertaining, because I would have never thought about this ever. But you guys, now that you're here, I'm in a different.
That's the earth.
I'm in a different mindset, right?
that's
Life.
great. Yeah.
So I'm absorbing.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to
So
do.
this will actually fucking. This
Not
will
saying
be,
that it's changing my life.
No, but this will be good too because like what a lot of people, I'm not authority over anyone, right? But what I think a lot of people should understand is a lot of your guys' kids, they're not like us. They're actually very special. They come with lighter hearts. Maybe you see that in your kids, bigger hearts. Their imagination is bigger. This world won't work for them. It's not going to, because they're not here to fucking work 40 hours a week and call that life. They're here to like have a good experience. So we have to knock down as much barriers as possible for them because they're not meant to do what we're having to do, what our parents had to do. They're here to make this like raise the vibration of Earth. So the reason why I say that is because little things like that raise vibration. And man, it's like a good thing. Like there's so many different even rocks, dude, that I bet you if you take your kids to a fucking store where they sell like rocks, like energy rocks, why are you listening to me? They'll have the time of their lives. They'll be touching the rocks. They'll buy some rocks, and it's very cheap stuff. So like, your guys' kids already came here like ready to like tap into spirituality, and it doesn't mean that they can't. Spirituality is such a fucking stupid word now at this point too. But what I'm trying to say is like, they would love shopping for rocks. I bet. I know it sounds weird.
We've done it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We did the whole
See, now I don't have kids.
mining for rocks and shit.
Yeah.
Like, they love that stuff.
I'm sure they love nature,
That you know
animals.
of.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't have kids, so.
That you know of.
But I know that this is, we wouldn't be sitting here trying to knock down these barriers if these kids weren't already here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think that's a big part.
And touching like just quickly on like the bots, the agents that follow you around. I see it a lot. I feel it a lot. At the gym, there'll be like a new member, a new rando, and they will find a way to come towards me and ask me for advice, ask me for a spot. Fine. That's not weird, right? That's just...
Yeah, Jesse's like an agent magnet.
So I'll help them, and then they'll start talking about their life. And it goes, and it goes, and it goes. Whatever. That's one day. Where I start to get to where I know they're not just normals, whatever that is, or one of me, is when the next day they do their best to spot me from wherever they're at because I can feel that. So if I'm on a treadmill I'll see the rando walk behind me, and he has no thought of getting on the treadmill. He'll go, stop, look, come back, and get on the treadmill next to me.
Yeah,
and I will do my best to ignore, like I didn't see that or fear or not or hear or just even feel them. I'm just like this, but I know the fucker's right here. Whatever. Okay? Excuse me. And then when I'm done, I'll acknowledge and like, hey, what's up? Then I'll walk away. Or I'll be doing something and maybe they're working a back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing legs. They will find their way to where I'm at to ask me like, hey, what do you got today? Or what are you doing? And I hope the people that like that watch this that actually like I'm cool with don't take it the wrong way if don't take but
stop making it so obvious.
It is so fucking weird, dude. And it happens to me at grocery stores. It happens to me. We're just
they love to fucking sneak up right behind you and just get in your energy and just fucking sit there. I'll be fucking in line. Sorry to interrupt. I'll be in line.
You're good.
Like say at Chipotle getting ready to pick up order. I'll just be standing there waiting. And the next thing you know, there's just like I'm like, what the fuck? I feel something. And there's just this fucking random ass, fucking weird ass looking dude like the picture I showed you, just standing like right on my ass. And I'm like, dude, can you please scoot back? Like you're right on me. He goes, I'm just waiting in line just like you are. I know, but you're right on my ass. Can you please scoot back? And they never do. They're always trying to get me to fucking knock their ass out. I know that got fucking like kind of dark there, but they know that that's the one thing that I can't fucking stand is when I should be afraid to put this out there, but they already know it. They love to do it. And how I know that they're ages is because a real grown ass man, dude, if I'm in your energy, if I'm standing right next to you, you're like, dude, scoot back a little bit. You're on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, my bad, bro. Especially if I don't know you. That's a real person. But an agent's going to say, I'm not fucking moving because they want you to fucking react. So, and they got me last year. That's why I'm just finishing up my legal trouble now because they got me last year. They got me right at a good point and I fucking freaked out on this fucking guy and he was trying to bait me to hit him. And I was like, okay. I was afraid actually because I thought he wanted to let me actually say this story so it makes sense.
Yeah, let me hear that.
It's just such a stupid story, man. But let me just put it to you this way. There had been little things that had been happening that were like kind of leading up to this. For example, this guy did the exact same thing at a grocery store maybe a week before where I was actually going to get some waters and I was reaching and then he fucking just reaches over me and his body's on mine. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And this guy had to been like 50 fucking straight up alligator looking fucking reptoid motherfucker, red fucking skin. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, what are you going to do about it, maricon? And like, I guess he just saw me and just assumed that I speak that way because he was trying to mock me. I was like, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay for this drink. I'm going to wait for you outside. And as soon as you get out there, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Hell yeah. And
he goes, he just threatened to hurt me. Call the cops on this man right now. Screams at fucking everyone, dude. And I was like, okay, that's their fucking game. They're trying to get me to fucking react so I get in trouble because I'm fucking going. Because at this time I was going to run for fucking Senate in Colorado, right? I had already registered for it. I was already putting
run for Senate?
Yeah, I was going to run for Senate for Colorado. Yeah, that's what should have happened. But once I started going that path, they started throwing all this shit at me. So that's when I was like, okay, I can't go that path because they're fucking, they sent the hounds on me, dude. And they were getting me good. And I had no fucking support. I was just fucking getting ready to do it on my own. But anyway, I can get into that Senate shit at another time too because that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, fast forward about a week after this. Been a long day, dude. I was driving. I was, doing DoorDash and fucking Grubhub and shit all day long. It was a long ass fucking day in the suburb of Colorado. I was tired. I was just getting home. I was at the stop sign right at the city. You got the stop sign right here on the corner of your road right here. I was right there. Fucking, I stopped. This truck's coming from the other side. He's got a stop sign. I had already stopped. So I'm just like going to turn left, tired as fuck. And this guy just decides to run through his fucking stop sign. So I have to fucking slam on my brakes. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? He goes, you fucking wait your turn. I was like, I stopped. And he just went right through the stop sign. He goes, yeah, well, what are you going to do about it? I was like, okay. Because, I had a long ass day. I was tired. So I wasn't being super smart at that time. So, and it was like
You
the
needed
whole,
one of these.
yeah,
You needed
I needed that actually, but the whole fucking thing seemed like it was all set up. But where are we at?
Stop sign.
No, the time.
an hour and 36.
How much more do you want to go?
2 hours is max.
Cool. I'll try to
20
make it
minutes.
shorter than that. I'll try to make it shorter than that. So
Unless you want to fucking stop it and then we just restart it and run a second episode right then and there.
I don't know. That's up to you guys. But
No, that's up to you.
We'll see.
We'll talk about it in a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Well, I got to work tonight anyway, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't give
Um,
a fuck this shit. Now we're talking, baby.
So I get out the car, dude, and I was like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand right here. I'm like, I live right here. You're in my neighborhood. You're not gonna fucking talk to me like I'm some bitch. And I know that's not like being in the light, but I remind you, like I said, I was fucking tired, dude. I wasn't being smart. So I had like this light ass sweater, like very light, probably as light as your shirt, right? So I was like, all right, that's what I thought, punk ass bitch. And I fucking threw it at him. He's in his big ass truck. And so he's like, oh, okay. Fucking steps out of his truck. And I'm like, oh shit, this guy's gonna whoop my ass. Because I was like, what the, like, because I'm not a fighter, dude. I don't want to fight anyone. Like, I don't want to fight not one person. I don't want no harm done. I don't want to fucking harm anyone, dude. Like, I don't want that. That's the last thing I want. I will defend myself, but I don't want to fight. Like, I have nothing to prove. I don't want to hurt someone. I'm afraid I'd hurt someone, and there's no going back from it. But he gets out of the car, and I'm like, this guy probably knows like some fucking karate or some jujitsu or something, because he's coming at me, dude. Like so I'm like fucking like, I'm like sizing him up, and he's sizing me up, and I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna kick my ass. So I'm like afraid to fucking make the first move. I'm like, because what I learned as a kid, and my dad told me this, and then I learned it through experiences, is you never want to throw the second punch. You want to throw the first one, because you never know what could happen after that first punch. So if you feel it, you might as well go for it. Not sure that's the smartest way to go about it, but that's just how I was thinking growing up. But I was afraid. I was like, I don't want to hit this guy, because what if he whoops my ass? Like, I just had a long ass day. I don't want to, be demoralized about life because this kid just kicked my ass. And so we're fucking like both circling each other, like in the middle of the street, dude, just fucking sizing each other up. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, okay. And he's like getting closer to me and shit. And we're within like this reach of each other. So I'm just like, I fucking panicked, bro. And I fucking just gave him like a fucking kick. Like, I got to stand up and do it, because they said that it was a fucking roundhouse kick. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but he was coming at me, so I just gave him a fucking like, pop.
Yeah.
Like just a fucking quick, right here, right where there's a lot of meat. And he fucking just falls to the fucking ground, dude. And he goes, that's assault. Fucking just starts screaming bloody murder, dude. Like saying, that's assault. I'm calling he calls 911. A fucking police officer comes from across the street. A fucking homeless dude with fucking no shoes on comes from the other side of the street. This guy from this side of the street comes out of his house. You're assaulting that. It was like a fucking movie. It's like a set of movie, dude. And they're all fucking screaming in my face. And I was like, he was coming at me. I was scared that he was hit me, so I hit him. Like, no, you're fucking, what are you doing here? I'm like, I live here, you fucking morons. It just turned into a fucking, but that's their fucking game, is let's get this motherfucker to react. So the cops got there. I said, yeah, the cops got there. I told him exactly what happened. I'm like, yeah, I kicked him. He came at me. I was afraid. I had to defend myself. So, but then they ended up saying that I shouldn't have kicked him, whatever. So I got thrown in jail. This was about 2 days before I was supposed to come back. They were trying to keep me in Colorado, because they knew that I was coming back, because nothing was going my way over there.
You caught a case on a kick?
Dude, it gets worse. So I told the cops my story. I told them everything. I was like, yeah, I kicked him. This is what happened. I was like, I'm not lying. I was like, that's why I didn't run, because I know I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I only did it out of self-defense. I've never gotten like a assault charge or nothing like that. And so they went and spoke to that cop guy and everyone that was in their circle, which for some reason it was like a group of people on this kid's side who wasn't even from that neighborhood. Just some random fucking kid who was probably an agent too. They were all probably agents, now that I think about it.
Oh, fuck all you bitches. Come at me, motherfucker.
I only say hold on because I don't want to lose this train of thought, because I'm almost at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm like, being cooperative with the cops, and, I don't have any history of like physical violence or anything like that. And so the cops come back and they're like, well, why'd you throw your sweater at him? I was like, I was frustrated. It's a fucking light ass sweater. Like, it's not like I fucking, well, he wouldn't have got out of his car if you didn't throw your sweater at him. I was like, okay, but he still came at me. So I was still self-defending myself because he was coming at me and I was scared. So I kicked him. I didn't fucking beat his ass. I didn't kick him and then keep hitting him. I kicked him out of like, hey, get the fuck away. This is a warning shot. And kind of just trying to I was actually afraid. I swear to God, I was afraid, dude. And they're like, well, something doesn't match up here. So unfortunately, what's the saying that they say when they're going to arrest you? Fortunately, we're going to have to put you under arrest.
You have the right to remain silent.
And
the Miranda rights.
Yeah, and fucking, yeah, dude. So I was like, you're going to fucking arrest me for self-defense. And I just cooperated with you. I told you everything. I don't have any fucking history. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, am I going to jail? Like, yeah, you have to go to jail. I'm like, you're going to throw me in jail on a story that you weren't here because you're listening to their story and not mine. I was like, that doesn't sound wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with like that. Is that normal? And like, that's just what we have to do. So I spent the night in fucking jail, and I spent the next half the day in jail because even when you get bailed out, I mean, you I don't know if you've ever been in jail.
You just come out jacked, bro. After
No,
24 hours, you're just fucking boom.
It's the most demoralizing thing that you can. It's really cruel and unusual punishment, in my opinion, because like even when you get bailed out, you're still there for like 8 hours waiting for like them to process everything. And so I talked to the fucking public defender before I got out. And he was like, yeah, this is self-defense. It's easy. You'll win this easily. And the DA or the judge or whatever was like, well, you can't leave the state of Colorado for the next year because you're on probation. And they knew that I had already had my flight to come to Arizona the next day. I was already moving back home, dude. And because Arizona is now home to me. Colorado's not fucking home at all. So they like try to block me from coming back home. It was actually like really fucked up. It's just we're supposed to be in the land of the free, dude. And because someone was attacking me, like coming at me, and I was nervous, I kicked him. Because of that, they weren't gonna let me like go home. They weren't gonna let me leave the state of Colorado. So I was like, I just called my dad, just crying, bro. Like I was just like, I can't believe like this is allowed. And then the public defender was like, yeah, this is stupid, actually, because this is one of the most kindergarten cases I've ever seen. Like, who the fuck gets arrested for kicking someone?
Right.
And so, yeah, the kid got sent off in an ambulance.
From a kick?
Yep.
How fucking hard did you kick this guy?
Dude, like how I just showed you. Like, it was in the back of the hamstring, like, and then he like tried to press charges on me for physical damage for his hospital time, but they said nothing was wrong with him, so I had to
kick fucking Elton John?
I don't know,
so
dude,
sensitive?
Because that was their like the guy in the grocery store.
So they baited you and you fell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, I got put on a fucking year probation from this shit, even though no fucking priors in relation to this, and then I had to do the last thing I have to do is a fucking anger management class, which might help because. I
think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I do have somewhat of I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have to do it, but I'm gonna just take what I can from the anger management class because I might get something out of it.
I hope you do. I hated it.
Really?
Oh, I fucking hated it.
Good thing is I can do it online, so I don't have to go back to Colorado.
See, okay. We had a talking stick, dude. You only get to talk when you're holding the stick. Like, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
It was fucked up. That sucks, man. So that kind of stuff has always happened to you, or just like
it's ramped up in the last
couple years?
No, it's ramped up in the last ever since I started podcasting. But you could say that it's always happening. Like when we were in Odessa, Jarvis went to jail because I got arrested for no reason. They straight up we walked out of a fucking bar in Odessa. This has always happened now that I think about it.
We were all at this bar.
Yeah, it was at so you go to where do you go to drink? Filiberto's, the fucking rooftop? Here. But when you do go out,
no.
right?
Oh, wherever.
For example, wherever fucking...
people go to the bar to do what?
Get fucked up.
To drink, right?
Yeah.
So we were just at this bar in Odessa, just one random night. Me, Jesse, Jarvis, and another couple cousins and friends. And the bar's closing time, so everyone's leaving, right? I walk out. The officer's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, going home. Are you driving? I'm like, nope, I got a DD. Who's your DD? I'm like, that's none of your business. Okay. You're under arrest. Fucking arrest me right there. Puts the cuffs on me.
What'd you do?
Nothing. But that's the power that they have, dude. Like, they can do that. what do they want? They want me to react. So then I fucking hit the cop, right? But I didn't do that. But Jarvis saw it because Jesse was with my other cousin.
We were already in the car
Yeah, and
because I
Jarvis
was going
right
to drive.
there. Jarvis is like, you can't fucking arrest him for no reason. He didn't do nothing. He goes, oh, you want to get arrested too? He's like, no, but you're arrested. You just put cuffs on him. He didn't do nothing. You're under arrest too. Fucking me and Jarvis spent
Fuck
the whole
him,
fucking night in the
dude.
clinker.
Fuck that guy.
Yep. And then
And this was in Colorado?
this was in Odessa,
Odessa,
Texas.
Texas.
Oh, in Texas.
So then, actually, here at the end of 2018, I got arrested here
Yep.
in Buckeye for no reason as well. So this has actually happened. Well, this is actually the dumbest one. So this was right around Christmas, New Year's time,
Just this past?
No.
2018.
Oh.
Yeah. And this was after like my whole the podcast blew up and I put out shit out there that fucking made me probably the most targeted individual on earth. And I don't say that like proud, like it's not a fun thing to be this, right? It's very stressful for my parents. So it's not like a good thing, but pretty much it was just a regular fucking night in between Christmas and New Year's. I was just going to the fucking, what's that store on Miller? The gas station Chevron.
Chevron.
I was just going there to get a can of dip. And it was like 10:30 at a weeknight.
Yeah, because Walgreens was closed.
Walgreens
it had
was
just closed.
So I was going over there to get a can of dip. And I see a cop just parked on the side of the road on Miller, like right when I turn there. I'm like, that's usually not there. And I already could sense the energy. It's like I got a little blip of what was about to happen. I was like, this motherfucker's going to pull me over for no reason. And I'm in his car. I know his tags are good. There's no reason for him to pull me over. I don't speed. And so I'm getting close to Chevron, and I already knew it was going to happen. And this motherfucker puts his lights on, so I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, okay. I kept driving, dude, and I fucking went inside the Chevron because I'm like, I want people to fucking see what's about to happen because I thought he was going to fucking whoop my ass for no reason. And he goes, well, I pulled you over because your license plate light was out or some shit like that, which is the biggest bullshit pullover reason that they use. Most common one, too. So I was like, okay, cool. So I gave him my driver's license, checked everything out. And he was like taking forever. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I know I'm good. I know there's nothing wrong. I haven't been in legal trouble for like fucking 10 years. And he comes back. He goes, sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle. I was like, for what? And he goes, well, apparently there's a warrant out for your arrest from Avondale. So we have to take you in and you're going to jail and you're going to spend the night in Avondale. I was like, I have no fucking warrants out. It's like from a DUI from 2007. I was like, I finished everything in 2008. Like, there's no fucking way that I would have a warrant out. Like, I completed everything that I had from that DUI by 2008, right? Because it takes time to do all that shit. And so I was like, there's no way that could happen. I was like, plus when I got hired by Chase Bank, because I used to be a personal banker. You like that flex?
Yeah, no, dude. I'm hearing everything.
But I used to be a personal banker,
Fucking
so
Senate, personal banker,
yeah,
karate guy, fucking God,
Sun God,
Sun God,
Big G.
Big G.
Does that hurt to say that?
What?
Big G?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just making sure.
No.
Good. We can be friends maybe then. We'll see what happens, right? So let me finish the story. I'm sorry. We get a little conceitedness in us every now and then. Narcissism.
All good.
You do too, though. You're fucking narcissistic as fuck. But
What did I do?
let me finish the
Maybe
story.
we can't be friends. Go ahead.
We'll see what happens. We're not there yet, but we might get there. You never know. But so when I got hired by Chase, when part of their background check is every ticket or misdemeanor that you've had or whatever, any legal issue that you've had, you have to get that specific county to print out proof that it's no longer active, right? That you took care of it. It's dismissed, case dismissed, fucking case closed. It's not active because they won't hire you if you have like a fucking pending DUI. That's just, they're a little bit more strict when it comes to it. So I had to go to every ticket that I've gone and call up all those counties to have them fucking send me proof or have them send proof to Chase that that's no longer active. So I had to call Avondale, have them send the proof that I completed everything from that DUI in 2007 so that I can get hired by Chase. So they sent that. So they said case closed in 2008. Fucking Chase says, okay, cool. Everything's good to go. We received everything. Good to go. Everything's case closed. 2010. So how the fuck am I going to get arrested for something that got completed in 2008 and verified again for the second time in 2010 in 2018? So when I went to court for this shit, and I'm almost done. There's about maybe 1 minute left in this story. When I went to court with this shit, I just didn't know what to do. I was just like, I got done with this shit. They're like, okay, well, here's what you need to do. You need to go to the lady that you did the classes with and get her to print out proof that you did this class.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, it's 2019 now, right? This happened in 2007, 2008. You know how hard that's? I don't even know if she's still there, dude. And mind you, Colorado went through a big change from 2007 to 2018. It's like a completely different state. So they're like, yeah, that's the only way. You gotta go contact all these places and have them prove that you did this 10 years later again. So I call the lady. She's like, I don't keep anything 7 years after what I don't have enough file. So she's like, I believe you, but I can't send you this. So I fucking went to court again. Told him like, look, she can't confirm that I did. This happened fucking a long time ago. So I was like, there's no way this is possible. Like that I can find this paperwork for you. They're like, well, you're gonna have to figure something out. I was just like, well, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, honestly, I think the only reason why this happened is because I have a YouTube that put a lot of targets over myself, and I think someone went into my fucking file and deleted something. That's the only explanation I have. Because this, and I told him the whole Chase thing. I'm like, how is it possible that Chase would fucking hire me if I didn't provide this information to them? Like, I already approved this in 2010. They're like, well, it's not possible for someone to delete anything from your file. There's only about 2 or 3 people in this country that have the power to do that, and they're at the very top. And then he paused, and I was like, yeah, exactly. He's like, okay, well, let me do some more digging into this. You, in the meanwhile, try to see if there's any way you could get this stuff back. Come back again in a month. So, I come back again in a month, fucking waiting the whole fucking court time to fucking get called to the fucking judge. And pulls up my file. As soon as I get up to the fucking podium, he goes, looks at it, closes it. You're good to go. Have a good day.
Just to waste time.
Just a big fucking waste of time, dude. So, yeah, I've been arrested 2 times for no fucking reason. And then the kick is arguable. But every fucking, like, defense, or not defense attorney, but a public defender that I spoke to said beatable. Not even fucking close. You should have never been arrested in the first place.
That's stupid, dude.
Yeah. So that's what also plays a big part of, like, my life being a lot harder. Because there's just a target on your back wherever you go, and it's just like. But the good thing is that I was also able to learn that our country and possibly this entire world is not only just compromised at the very top, at the highest levels, but also at the very bottom levels. Because if that's happening for me with courts and cops, and that tells me that there's actually a compromise.
They got hands throughout the whole thing.
Yep, top to bottom, everything. So that's the hard part. Plus, I've been single for fucking 8 years, 7 months, and 2 days now. Yeah, and
who's counting, bro?
Well, the only reason why I count is because I'm not actually counting, but the relationship ended on New Year's Day. So you never, and I'm not sad
it's
about it.
It's kind of like how you know that yours like the St. Patrick's Day thing.
So you never forget it, right? So I know all I have to do is count the years. So I know exactly it's been 8 years because that was fucking 8 years ago, and then it's been 7 months because it's July, and it's been 2 days because it's the second day. So that's probably been aside from my parents and what it's caused for them, because they're just like, what's going on? And they're very simple beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're awesome, and I love them. But that's the hardest part, is just what they've had to go through, not being able to really grasp what's happening. So, but also just not have, like, if I had someone that was by my side during this whole time that was just encouraging me with like love and
make it a lot easier,
way easier. But I've had the exact opposite of that this entire time. So that's been probably the most challenging.
And
part
quickly
too.
With that, because of how your life is, how hard is it to even, if you feel like you can get with someone, to trust them because of all this?
That's also because, like, the first thing I'm thinking when I meet people these days, just being fully transparent, is what?
That they're fucking agents.
Yeah.
That they're not actually there for your well-being.
Yeah, so like, because it's a lot of things. Dude, I haven't even gotten into the stories of like actually uncovering agents at work.
I don't even. Like,
oh my god, dude! It's just
like, dude, you couldn't even make a movie off of the, like, not only our lives, right? And anyone's life can be a movie because we all live our own Sonder experience, right?
Mhm.
Anyone's life could be a movie because we all go through interesting shit. But you couldn't. The last 5 years couldn't even be a movie, dude. It'd have to be like fucking like a 50 episode series, like
Two-
Oh,
Part
it'd be a porn
series.
because you're just getting fucked, dude.
yeah.
But-
but
Do you want to talk about the sun flares before we get
yeah,
off?
because where are we at?
Now,
How much time?
2 minutes.
Okay. So I'll make this real quick. So this is the most important thing that I should say, and that I wish I would have fucking said at the very beginning. But so the solar flares, the sun's going through certain cycles. There are 11-year cycles. You can verify this all through the mainstream. The mainstream is actually covering this because they're actually using it to communicate to whoever the fuck they're trying to communicate. Not me, not us, right? But to let them know what the fuck's about to happen. So this also has to do with the sunstone. Excuse me.
That was a good one.
My bad. I can do better than that, but it has to do with the return of the sun god and everything. So pretty much these solar flares are capable of throwing out the complete
Dope. Fulkin.
complete
Remember
fucking A,
Fulkin?
mate. The complete grid and power structure throughout the entire Earth. That's what it does. So it'll black out the entire fucking world, where depending on how big the sunspots are. And NASA's already verified this. So look up the Carrington event. The Carrington event happened in the late 1800s. There was a massive blackout due to solar flares. Do you know about the Carrington event? But you can verify that. But pretty much what's happening is the solar flares, they shoot out. They're called coronal mass ejections, right? Sounds kind of funny, but it's really not, because what it is, these sunspots happen and then it shoots out these solar flares, which have photons and like photon particles and solar energy, and these energies are hitting Earth. So they'll throw out when one that's big enough. Where are we at? 30 seconds.
Yeah.
When one's here's what's gonna happen, dude. A big solar flare is gonna hit, and it's gonna throw out the fucking internet and the entire like power structure. I don't know for how long, but it's gonna do it. And when that happens, these beings that are projecting themselves, that are like using this technology to make them look like humans, that technology is gonna be thrown out, and then boom, we're gonna see a bunch of these motherfuckers that aren't human.
Like the
Right.
movie They Live.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly that. But here's the positive side of that. These solar particles that are being shot out from the sun, they're actually helping evolve humanity. So it's actually a good thing too. So humanity is going to continue to evolve. Where everything's heading is more like a Avenger type reality, where the power structure is more so controlled. They didn't do it. They weren't political, right? They just did whatever they were tasked to do, world threats. But the power structure will be taken away from big ass governments and given to people that actually care for humanity and are trying to progress everyone. It'll open up space. That's why can you leave Earth right now? No, you can't. But that's where this is headed, is the opening and expansion of the Earth system. And it's like an Avenger type world where everything's like when you watch the Avenger movies, like when you watch the Iron Man, fucking Civil War, Thor movies, Avenger movies, it seems like everything's in the future. Fucking Ant-Man, like all their technology, we're not seeing that. It's there. It's just being suppressed because they don't want to get into the bad guys' hands. That's where we're headed. Solar flares are going to help fucking knock out the grid and probably wipe the internet. And then, but the positive side to that is these flares and these particles that are hitting Earth are helping humanity evolve. That's all I got.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, so do you want to take us out, or
No,
do you want
you
me to
do
do
it.
this? All right, well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode of the
Yeah,
Sonder
appreciate you being
Experience.
on, dude.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Honestly,
Number
for real.
I appreciate you
53.
guys.
Before
Sorry.
we head out, is there anything that you want to promote quickly? Anything that, any
Yes.
final word?
Yeah. People need to comment and like more on this channel, because I'm not seeing many comments. I'm getting some more views, but like you guys get views every now and then, right? Like your views go up and down. But more people need to comment, but more people need to like. If there's 30 views, there should be 30 likes. That's all I got to say.
Exactly. There
May
you
your
go.
son be brilliant. That's all I got.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. For Garrett the Journey Olson, I'm Jesse. Nightmare, whatever you want to put on there. That rhymed. Sonder
Whoa.
Experience. We're out this bitch.
Later.
Sun gods.
Damn, that was long.